Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode, a Friday edition of Check Please!
Sir! Hey! Sir!
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 Sir! The check!
Sir, my
Please!
wife's angry.
Check!
That's why we had a
Never
pod-
me!
That's
Check,
why we had a
please!
podcast on Friday. We've been asking for the check since Thursday afternoon. We are still here, so check please.
5% tip.
5%.
No more than that.
It is going down by the hour, but we're still patient, man. We still tip. We always give the tip. Shout
I gave
out to our lives.
I
What's
gave
up?
I gave 20% at Subway today
There we go.
Why?
I bet.
because I'm trying to get business with them. Is that fair answer?
Oh, okay. Do you like Jared Fogle?
No, I do not approve of his
Okay.
past.
Okay,
moves.
for the record, D1 and done is
Anti-Jared Fogle pod.
anti-Jared Fogle. Nice job.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone. But we are a pro. We are pro, our official Mountain West correspondent and the benefactors of the podcast, the Hagen Hall Boys. Shout out to them. Follow us on social. Email us at d1anddonepod@gmail.com. Leave us a like on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or, X, the Everything app. Shout out. Leave a 5-star review.
Suck it, Elon. It's Twitter.
Suck it, Elon. We are anti-Elon. Not even for, whole reasons. He's just weird. I don't like weird people. That's all I really... You guys know what I mean. Either way, welcome to Check Please. It is the last pod before the end of regular season. We're going to choose a game to recap from the past couple days, and then basically have an open forum. Who knows where we're going in these 30 minutes, and then we'll make sure we have games to preview before the end of the show, since it is, again, the last weekend of the regular season. Hello, boys, and welcome to Check Please.
It's wonderful to be back talking college basketball with you, Nick.
Wonderful to have
Dusty
you
as well. Dusty as well. Sorry. I forgot to add the D1 part of the pod.
Yeah, Dusty and Robbie have been going at it before the pod, so this should be a fun one today. We are very excited to be here. Dusty, I know I talked to you earlier. Surely you have a game to recap for us, correct?
So the team I'm going to talk about lost.
Sorry, can I cut you off real quick?
Yes.
Speaking
Yeah.
the opposite of cutting off, we all have beverages in our hands today because it is Friday. Shout out to all of us. Sorry, again, I should have said it earlier. If we can't get the check, we might as well enjoy ourselves. So cheers. No free ads. Sorry, Crab.
Cheers.
Do not drink and drive. We are also anti that.
By the way, you're
Yeah.
not, you didn't misheard. That is producer Jake from the clouds coming down to anoint us with his presence as we go through the pod. So thank you, Jake. There he is. Oh, look at him. You're gonna go put. It looks like you're about to go hit 18 here in a bit. Correct. Thank you.
Don't drink and drive. Evidently, you can podcast and drive. So to each their own. Dusty, finally to you, sir. Please give us the game to recap.
So we've talked about this in the past. The 2 weeks of the conference tournaments I like them more than the NCAA tournament. And it's not that I don't love those 3 weeks. There's something special about it. Like I always say that 94% of the teams have a chance. Surely from this, technically if you go with the Atlantic Sun from Sunday to go win the national championship. You just have to win out. So that's what makes it so much fun. So Southern Illinois, who got beat today by Drake, had a fantastic win against Indiana State yesterday by, I think it's Ali Deba. I think it's Ali. I have no idea now. Hit a layup with 4.1 seconds left, and Southern Illinois goes crazy for a team that was 14-19 going in, makes that shot, and then they get railed by Drake today by 17. But just to have that moment, that's my game that I want to talk about. We have Aaron Gray had 27 points and 8 rebounds for the Sycamores, who finished the season 14-18. This is why I love conference tournaments. Nothing matters at this point. It's like we're talking about Indiana High School sectionals going on right now. Noblesville High School that we all went to plays tonight, and it's just like tonight, whatever the hell happened before this doesn't matter. So this is why I love this. So yeah, that's my shout for the week is Southern Illinois beating Indiana State 86-85, and then like I said, 3 hours ago got slapped around by Drake. Good luck to Drake going on to the
Shout out
semis.
Kendrick Lamar.
Mustard!
Mustard!
Yeah, crap. I think Arch Madness starting is like, in a way, the unofficial kickoff of the madness. It's always so great to get it going.
Can I?
Well.
Look,
You say it. Wait, real quick. You say
Go
that,
for
but
it.
now it's the Atlantic Sun since they play on Sunday now, which had never happened in the past. It usually kicked off on Monday. That 2 weeks.
That's a
So,
good point.
but yes, Arch Madness does signify. It's almost like when we went out to the West for the Oregon Trail, St. Louis. Like the Arch is opening us up to the NCAA tournament. So
Can I
there you
mention?
go. There's my rant.
I think Arch Madness is my favorite mid-major conference tournament. I feel like it always delivers every single year. It's got something that we always, this may be a product of the championship game always being on CBS, and it gets that national spotlight. But I feel like every year it gives us something that, because we were all watching that Indiana State Missouri Valley championship game last year. It gives us great storylines, and it's always so much fun to watch. I know we've been kind of talking about the A10 potentially being a 2-bid league. I really hope the Missouri Valley gets 2 teams in. I think it's still only going to be a 1-bid league, but if Bradley wins the Missouri Valley, I hope Drake gets in. Because those are 2 teams that absolutely deserve to be in. They have been awesome this year. I'd even throw Northern Iowa in there too. I know Northern Iowa's 20-11, but they've been awesome too. Like the Missouri Valley, it legitimately is great basketball and so much fun to watch.
Yeah, Rob, you mentioned always delivers. I think what helps the Missouri Valley, it seems like one of the 10 teams is always like an at-large candidate too, which always makes it, I think, more special too. It always there's like a sense of like, they better win or you never know. So I think that helps a lot too. Speaking of the madness, I'll go next because I think this parlay's nice.
That's okay. I want to say one more thing. I want to mention.
Please.
So,
please.
Missouri State, coached by Conzo Martin, former Purdue guard, former Cal coach and Missouri coach. His son, Chase Martin, who was a walk-on on the Purdue men's basketball team for the past 3 years, transferred to Missouri State for his senior year to play with his dad. And again, walk on at Purdue, you're like, oh, it's cool story. It's nice that he got a chance to play with his dad. He averaged 7 points off the bench. He scored 15 recently against Illinois State. He's putting up really good numbers. He had a great game in that overtime loss at Drake where he made some big shots down the stretch. So shout out to Chase Martin, a true Boilermaker, and Conzo Martin. I know it was a rough year for Missouri State, but it was still really cool to see his son playing for his dad and, making some memories along the way.
I did not know that. Shout out Chase Martin. I had no idea.
Chase Martin, man. Real good kid.
See,
Great
we
kid.
learned some things on this pod. Thank you, Robbie.
Well, that is the teacher in me. I got to teach at some point, yes.
But there is other chaos going on, not just conference tournaments right now, boys, including Tuesday night. It was a chaotic night of college basketball, including, let me get my notes pulled up here, the 2 double overtime basketball games we had on Tuesday night. I will run through them real quick in case y'all saw them. Did not see them, I should say. The first one, BYU, Brigham Young, the Stormin' Mormons beat the Cyclones 88-85. It was senior night at Hilton Coliseum. No Hilton Magic tonight. BYU's on W7 right now. And by the way, did you guys see how many turnovers they had in this game by chance? Anyone?
29.
20?
Okay, I thought it was close to 30. Yeah. I didn't know it was that much.
29 turnovers.
How do you win a game of basketball committing 29 turnovers?
Shout out Gary Parrish for stat. They're the first team to be a ranked team with 29 plus turnovers since 1998 when Iowa did it. So shout out 1998 Iowa. Whoever
I
you
think
are.
about that's a turnover. That's a turnover 75% of your minutes.
I assume that's a Todd Licklider coached Iowa team, if I'm not mistaken. 99. Let me look that up.
98.
98? Okay.
Yeah, but Iowa State on the other side is now 1-3 in the last 4, 5-6 in the last 11. The Cyclones have just been up and down for a while now. They're
Tom Davis was still the head coach at Iowa during that time. So that was no. Steve Alford was the head coach of that team. So that was after. So Todd Licklider came after Steve Alford. But yes, so Steve Alford coached Iowa team. Wow.
Can I tell a funny story about Steve Alford real quick?
Please, yes.
So our father, who's a pretty successful business human being in the healthcare world. Comes from the Kentucky side of the family. My mom's side is all IU, or Nick, Jake, and I's mom is from IU. When Alfred left Iowa, everyone said that he was going to become the next IU coach. And my dad had insights that said he wasn't going to be. So his mother-in-law, so my grandma, bet him $1 that Alfred was going to be the IU coach. My dad, to this day, in his own office, still has the check written from my grandma to my dad that says $1, and it's literally in his home office right now.
That's what that is? I had no idea that's what that was. I've seen that.
And he said, no, and we call her Nana, and he said, Nana, I'm just telling you from my sources, he will not be the IU coach. And she's like, oh, Brian, he will be. And he's like, okay, I'll bet you on it. So they made a $1 bet. So he still has that check.
That's amazing.
And also, no one else knows.
Good job on the 29 turnovers, Iowa. But go ahead, Nick.
And no one knows, but your Nana impersonation, always well done, Crab. I always.
Thank you.
That is pretty good. Yes, that's pretty solid.
Appreciate that.
Real quick, the other one. Speaking of Nana, who does love the Big Ten, there was a Big Ten double overtime game. Ohio State 116, the Cornhuskers 114 on the cock of P. Ohio State had 4 guys with 20-plus points. Bryce Williams from Nebraska had 43, who has scored 20-plus in every game except one since January 30th. Dog, Bryce with an I. Always appreciate that. Ohio State is the 4th to last team in, according to the Matrix. And the Fighting Fred Hoiberg are the first team out, currently, according to the Matrix. So a big bubble, double overtime game.
That was the worst, most entertaining game I think I've ever watched. It was such bad basketball that it was so entertaining. Like, Bryce Williams is awesome.
Awesome.
He is single-handedly trying to get Nebraska to the tournament right now. He's been outstanding for the Huskers. I think, and I mentioned it on the last pod, Ohio State is going to be underseeded, but according to that, they're going to be a team that you may want to keep an eye on as like an 11 or a 12 potentially, maybe even a 10 that's going to upset a 7 or a 6. And they've got the talent to do that. Aaron Bradshaw played pretty well in that game, I will be honest. Mm-hmm. But also, a 7-footer that only gets 1 rebound in a game, I don't know how that's even possible.
Miles Turner?
Okay, come on.
I love you, Miles.
I'm 6'4", and I helped lead our JV team, and I averaged double-digit rebounds our JV team my junior year. So if you're 7 feet tall, go get a freaking rebound. Come on. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. But, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to round your parade here, Nick. But
no, this is good. I agree. Ohio State's just they're so up and down. Like, they lost by 30 at home to Northwestern like 2 weeks ago.
I want to turn the page. Is BYU good?
Yes.
Legitimately, are they good? Because
I think so.
I think they're immensely talented, but I think they're so flawed defensively that I don't know if we can trust them in March.
What helps with them, again, they're hot at the right time. So they will definitely be a trendy pick, too, by the way.
They'll be a very trendy pick, yes.
I do think what helps them, they do have a go-to guy. I think Richie Saunders really is that kind of guy. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 10 pick guy, but he can get you a bucket if you need one. So shout out Richie Saunders. He was this close to being a cat. He was crystal ball to be a cat at one point this offseason, but looks like it's working out for him. So I do believe in this BYU team. Getting hot there. And Kyle Young's a damn good coach. Came from NBA.
Yeah.
Almost got the Suns job a couple years ago. I've referenced that. Yeah, I'm buying the Storm and Mormons.
They've got a good mix of youth and experience, I feel like. I mean, Igor Demin had an okay game in that game, but the fact, like, how does, for one, Iowa State losing at home, that doesn't happen.
Senior night, too.
The fact it was senior night, and, I mean, you got good games out of Curtis Jones, Keshawn Gilbert, and Tamin Lipsey. Momcilovic also played pretty well. Like, that just, something felt off, and all right, this is going to be a topic for another show, but I feel like there's just certain teams, once we get closer to March, that they start turning into a pumpkin, where it's, they're all, November, December, look at how great this team is. That's Marquette, that's Iowa State, like Michigan is starting to become that too. There's certain teams.
It's been Auburn in your past, by the way.
Auburn at times as well, where they get all this hype and they look great on paper and they get look at all these nice, cool wins in the non-conference. Then they hit conference season and it's like, what the heck just happened? That's usually Iowa in the Big Ten, is that kind of, they run into that run as well. Kansas has been that too recently. So it's kind of funny to see those teams that, man, they look so good in November and December, and then when January hits, it's like, what the hell just happened to this team? Marquette, it makes no sense how bad they are. Like, they looked unbeatable in November and December, and it's kind of the Iowa State's the same way. I think there was one part in the pod in January where I started to be like, you know what? This Iowa State team is actually pretty dang good. And I changed my tune. I think I'm reverting back to Iowa State might be a pretender again. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Iowa State. I really don't.
Yeah, because they've been dealing with some illness and some injuries too as well. They kind of fit that similar bugs. I agree, but no, it's a fair point. As someone who believed in Iowa State earlier in the year, they kind of fit the bill, unfortunately. Crab, you got any comments on any of the games before we move on?
No, I'm trying to keep up with this Presbyterian Radford game that's 64-60 right now.
Go Blue Hose.
Go Blue Hose.
But I'm with Robbie. You mentioned Michigan. I've been off them for months now. I'm stunned at, where are they now? Probably a 5 seed, I would assume.
They're probably trending 3. They could fall to a 5 seed, yeah. It's possible.
See what
they have to lose out, but yeah.
If Kentucky somehow ends up as a biased,
they're the worst 4 seed at the moment.
If Kentucky's getting a 4 seed, I would love for Michigan to be the 5 seed. That's what I'm saying about it. But you are right, though. All these teams. It's still amazing to me. Even like Tennessee has never been to a Final Four, and Tennessee's a team that.
Wait, what'd you say?
Hold on, say that louder for everyone.
That can't be true.
No, that's not. There's no.
Tennessee's never been to a Final Four.
For someone who volunteered and worked at a Final Four in 2010 and worked the same dunk contest, the University of Tennessee has never volunteered to be in the Final Four. There you go.
Bam.
I would have volunteered to be in the Final Four if I could.
I would too. Robbie, what's your game to recap?
I think I proclaimed it on the last pod when we made our conference tournament championship picks. Well, the one before our most recent pod. I said Maryland is the most talented team in the Big Ten. I think they proved it on. Did they play Wednesday? They played
Wednesday.
They played Wednesday. Yeah, I think they proved it Wednesday. Now, again, I've mentioned before, Michigan is a flawed team, but Michigan is the kind of team that I think is a tough matchup for Maryland because, Derek Queen and Julian Reese are good bigs, but they kind of struggle when they have to kind of bang inside with a Vlad Golden, with a Will Cheddar, physical guys. And they rose to the challenge in that game. I know Danny and Vlad combined for 40 points and 23 rebounds, and Reese kind of was dealing with foul trouble at the start of the game. But Derek Queen, I thought, played a great game. Even with the issues that Maryland has as just a bench team, they're not great off the bench, but Selton Miguel was awesome in the first half of that game. Jacoby Gillespie and Rodney Rice are shot creators. I don't know. Maryland's biggest problem in the past has been they've got really good guard play, but they can't shoot the 3. Now you've got 3 guys who are quality three-point shooters. Jacoby Gillespie is a good three-point shooter. Rodney Rice is a good three-point shooter. Selton Miguel is a great three-point shooter. You can bring Deshaun Harris-Smith, who's a solid three-point shooter off the bench. They've got really good three-point shooters, and that gives me confidence that Maryland is the kind of team you do not want to see. I think Maryland's going to shock some people this year. I'm going to say it right now. Maryland is this year's Clemson from last year. They on paper, they don't look like they're a force, but Maryland's going to get a 5 or a 6 seed, and they're going to make an Elite 8, and everyone is going to say, where the hell did this Maryland team come from? And it's kind of been trending this way for a while. They're experienced. They can shoot the ball this year. They're a good enough rebounding team. They don't commit a ton of turnovers. They've got good guard play. They're really good defensively off the bounce. I love this. I really, really like. I said it. I love this Maryland team. The more I watch them, the more I like them. And I know they don't have a great bench, but winning on the road against a Michigan team that has been winning close games all season long, that was very impressive that they were able to get that done on Wednesday night.
Well, step one, Robbie, to help you out, they're from College Park, Maryland. That's where they came from.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dusty. I just discovered this. Look at their schedule. So Maryland has 7 losses, 6 of them by 5 points or less. You want to guess how much you lost by the 7th one by?
Wasn't like 8?
No, I thought it was like 20 plus, wasn't it?
6 points to Washington.
Yeah,
so
that is a close loss. Yeah.
So again, Washington, maybe the worst team. Probably is the worst team in the Big Ten. So
every game they've lost has been by less than double digits.
Run through it real quick. You ready?
Well, is that
4, 5, 6, 4, 2, 3, 3. That is the margin of their losses.
Crazy. And then
again, though,
they're so unassuming. Like they really. You see them on paper. You see them on the floor. You're like, this team has won 23 games this year. But then they come out and they're banshees. Like they are freaking good.
Banshees.
And it's like they are. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dusty. But like they are. Like Maryland's good, man.
No, you're right. And by the way, Radford Presbyterian 2-point game, 32 seconds left. But isn't that something though that's scary in March though? Like I know you're losing close games, but that means you can get picked off in the first round, like quickly, and that run ends. And if you're constant, I mean, yes, you can say they know how to play in close games. That's great, but if you're losing those games that closely, I mean, I think that can also be a recipe for disaster. And also, Radford just tied it. So that's the only thing I would say about Maryland is.
Yeah, Crab. It's kind of there's 2 ways of thinking. It's one is they've been unlucky. If someone's games go their way, they're a lot better. Or you're thinking
they could be 29-1.
Right, which one? We don't really know which one it could be.
I trend more with if you're consistently winning those close games. I trend more towards you're due for one of those to be a loss soon. And
that's literally my point. Is I'm saying,
yes.
Robbie, is so you get picked off as a let's say they're a 4th seed. You get picked off by 13 seed Presbyterian after they run through the conference tournament here.
That's Michigan, though. That's Michigan. Like Michigan is going to lose to a Liberty or a Bryant this year.
Yeah.
I feel it. Like there's nothing that can. But you're in that many close games and you've won. I mean, what did they win by? Wasn't there a stretch where they won by like 7 games by a total of 20 points or something like that?
Michigan, yeah, it's crazy.
So it's bound to come back and bite you at some point.
Yeah, I think it's a very fair argument. Good recaps, everyone. Anything else before we move on to just open forum? I might just run through other results and head on. If that's okay, real quick, boys. Any? I
mean, I would throw out. I mean, we need to talk Ole Miss, Tennessee.
Yeah, let's give me one. What were your thoughts on that game, real quick? Then you got any?
I mean, like Jamin Breakfield's awesome. When he's locked in, he's a dude. That was kind of Malik Dia with me for a while with Ole Miss, but I mean, I don't know if you saw it at the end of the game. The PA announcer at Ole Miss said, "Do not rush the floor. I repeat, do not rush," and they rushed the floor. And after they rushed the floor, you can see Chris Beard in the wide shot of the game camera on ESPN, on SEC Network. He's just standing on top of one of the bench chairs, just looking out as like a proud father, like, I did this. And sure enough, hell yeah, he did. Like, this Ole Miss team is damn good. Like, they are really good. There's not many teams that can out-physical Tennessee, and they did. Like, Tennessee, their biggest problem has been their three-point shooting, is they struggle when they're not shooting the ball well. When Jordan Gainey's on, this Tennessee team is damn good. And he was on. And the fact that Ole Miss held their own, trailing to that Tennessee team, and found a way to win it late. I mean, Igor Milicic should have made that basket to force it to overtime. But regardless of that, like, this Ole Miss team, they're going to guard you. They're going to rebound the hell out of the ball. They had 15 offensive rebounds against a Tennessee team that's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. That, like, I like this Ole Miss team a lot. And they showed me something with that win over the Volunteers. Dusty?
Boys,
No way! You know, Ole Miss is not known as an academic institution, but I would like to have that striked from the record. They are an academic institution after something like that.
Well,
That's magnificent.
Well,
That's
Ole
awesome.
Miss does have experience rioting, so it seems like they've gotten pretty good at it. Dusty, Dusty, did you have something to say?
Presbyterian Radford heading in overtime right now.
There we go. See, the
And
madness is
Jake,
already here.
We don't need all this right here. Get out of here, Jake.
But
Real,
anyway, like I like that Ole Miss team, man. Like and again, Chris Beard in March, his teams do some weird stuff. Like they can get hot real fast. And I know, like Ole Miss is they're not a trendy team, and their best team they've had in a long time lost to LaSalle in the round of 32. But like this Ole Miss team is damn good, and the similarities between them and Maryland are pretty scary, honestly. They're teams that you don't want to face because they can guard you, they can make shots, and they're an offensive rebound. So
Who's that guard on LaSalle that hit that shot against Ole Miss?
with the dreads, that's the only guy. I remember.
Yeah,
with
because I was like,
Reds, he had the
wasn't it like
headband on.
2012, 2013?
Yeah, I can't
Nick,
remember.
I think
his
this is the
name.
weekend when I was in grad school that you came and stayed with me.
I think I left
I-
already though, because it was like
I just,
Oh!
yeah, it was Sunday. It was on that Sunday.
Tyrone Garland. Garland.
I
Wow,
never
I
would
would not
remember
remember
that.
that.
That's exactly what it
Yep.
is.
He was a dude. But yeah, that I mean, obviously,
He was a what?
forever
A dude.
forever gonna have I'm forever
dude.
gonna have a soft spot for that Ole Miss team because that's Marshall Henderson, Jarvis Summers, Murphy Holloway, Reginald
Yep.
Buckner.
Reginald
Buckner. That's Nick and I's guy.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Awesome
So,
down
I mean,
low.
That's a great Ole Miss team, and yeah, it sucks that they didn't make it to a Sweet 16 because they were so good. But
Real
I
quick.
think with the right matchup, this Ole Miss team this year, they can make a Sweet 16. They are that good.
I agree, Robbie. And also, this game was big in the sense, too, for Tennessee lost and Florida won at Bama and probably jumped Tennessee for the last one seed, too. Shout Jake.
Yep.
Florida's a one seed, and yeah,
Florida has to be one seed unless some. Who do they end the season with?
I'll shout out
Well,
Jake
Ole
as
Miss.
well. Jake mentioned as well Dre Davis. That's an Indianapolis kid. Lawrence Central. He's on that Ole Miss team. I know he didn't. He started at Louisville, then went to Seton Hall. Now he's at Ole Miss. But it's cool to have some Indy flavor on that Ole Miss team. But yes, Florida is a one seed. If they're not a one seed, something's wrong. We didn't do something correctly.
Yeah, unless
they are a one seed.
maybe if Tennessee beats them in Nashville and Tennessee wins the SEC title, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree with Nick on that. Yeah, if Tennessee wins the SEC tournament, they probably get that one seed.
But it's Florida's to lose at the moment, I would say.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Can I want to make a proclamation on this pod here.
Ooh, proclamation time.
And Jake, you're gonna love this.
Mm-hmm.
So, the last time that I had, so it was in 2005, when I had I don't know why I remember this, but I do. The last time I had a dream of a team winning a national championship, it was North Carolina in 2005.
Ew.
I had North Carolina winning the national title, and I picked them in all my brackets when everyone else was picking Illinois to win it all in 2005. This most recent happened on Monday. I had a dream that Florida was going to win the national championship this year.
Where do you take it before bed?
I can't believe you admitted that to Jake.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
No, Robbie, I respect the dream. The dream thing's real. I had that.
I'm
Swear to God, before the Colts lost to the Jaguars in the clown game, I woke up in a sweat the morning before. That really happened. That
like I can vividly remember the dream from 05, and then I didn't think about it the entire day, and I still remember walking up my driveway and saying, that dream was true. North Carolina's going to win the national championship. And I had the exact same thing that just happened on Monday when I was getting ready to think about doing the pod. I was like, Florida's going to win the national championship.
I'm so
My
happy
only,
on Jake.
my
This.
only remembrance from that
So
2005. Yeah, 2005 was also when the Pope died, and I was with a Catholic family and
Dusty!
Fort Myers. And
Dusty!
wait, what? Yeah, so that's what isn't the Pope like sick now? So maybe
Yes,
comes
he
back
is!
and Florida wins the national title.
Florida's going to win the national championship.
And the Pope's gonna die.
And the Pope's going to die.
I was up with Mr. Nemeth all night, sitting on my pull-out couch.
That's amazing.
Literally sitting on my ankles. I think they won on Monday, and the Pope
Sitting
died Tuesday
on your
morning.
ankles?
Yeah, I'm not
What
kidding.
do you mean by that? I don't really know you.
I was laying in bed trying to sleep, and he was trying to watch coverage in the living room part of the hotel because his wife.
I guess I don't know what you mean by sitting on your ankles. Like you're.
I'm laying in bed trying to sleep on a pull-out couch, and his ass is on my ankles.
Oh, he's sitting on your ankle.
On my ankles.
Okay.
Not even paying attention to me because he's worried about this freaking cloud coming out to show that the Pope died. That's my remembrance of North Carolina being Illinois.
All right, I've never been more confident about my pick to win a national championship.
Now, because of that, I love that.
Florida is going to win the national title this year. Okay?
Can we get a parlay of that on Caesars? The Pope
Flip
to
it!
in Florida.
Flip it!
Open the Gators.
Jake,
Boots.
Book it now,
flip
Jake.
this!
Clip it.
See you in San Antonio.
You know, real quick before we move on, I did not dream about this. Can I just run through the other notable results from the past couple nights?
Go for
Please.
it.
30 seconds or less. I'm good in 30 seconds or less. Shout out.
You better mention DePaul Providence.
DePaul beat Providence, right?
They did, and they
mentioned.
fouled Providence on a three-point shot from behind half court, and they got lucky and managed to still win. It was crazy.
I did not see that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Big East basketball this year. Wednesday, and MSG is going to slap. Texas beat Mississippi State. Boy, did they need that, and boy, did they try and blow it. That was hysterical. Not good for our Bulldogs, Robbie. Not at all.
No, not good. Not
But
good.
real quick, Nick, during your recap, good for us though. SEC tournament goers. The Cats officially will not play on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's go.
That's all that matters.
We will be live on site, just so you guys know, over the weekend, and we have one of my Kentucky teammates, possibly two former Kentucky basketball players, and now I found today a Ball State teammate that's going to be in Nashville. So we could have some fun shows.
Awesome.
Sorry, Nick, continue.
No, that's great. Yeah, I very much looking forward to, and that is massive news for the Cats. By the way, Kentucky and Purdue both steamrolled Tuesday night. Nothing to report there. Good job, boys. A&M ended their losing skid against Auburn, got the 83-72 win. They retired Wade Taylor's jersey before the game, and they won. That was awesome.
I didn't know they were retiring Wade Taylor's jersey. If I would have known that, I would not have put the -4.5 on Auburn. Come on.
Retweet, Robbie. I didn't bet it. I would have bet A&M, though, if it had I known. Oregon beat Indiana 73-64. Hoosiers still alive, but gosh, they almost won that one. That would have been massive.
Did you see Look Goody at the end of that game, like throwing like a tirade at the official, and the official like, "What'd you say to me?" as he's walking towards him.
I love that. It's usually a move a player does when their season's over. I'm glad he's doing it with like, still a couple games left. Give it to me.
That Oregon team sucks. They're not good, and that's not a slight to IU, but that Oregon team is going to mess up some brackets, and not because they're good, but because they're just going to dick around and win a game that they're not supposed to win.
Because of Jackson Shell stat hitting 40-footers, that's the most.
And Nate Biddle going 5 for 5 from 3, which doesn't make any sense, but yes,
A team who took a massive loss, San Diego State lost to UNLV 74-67. They now have a quad 3. I think they got swept by UNLV, so that's a quad 3 loss at home to them, and now a quad 2. They're still in, I think, but boy, that was because they're over 500 in the first 2 quadrants, by the way. So shout out San Diego State for that.
All right.
UNLV, dangerous team in the Mountain West tournament. I'm going to say it right now.
Dustin was running Rebels.
Not because of our sponsor by any means.
No, you literally just said that because of our sponsor.
Shout out our sponsor. He
Okay,
has paid up.
all right. I have another question.
Yes.
Over under 1.5 games won by the Mountain West in the NCAA tournament this year. You think they win too?
Yes.
Over.
Please. We have to say yes, right? It has to.
So who's going to win?
Contractually, yes.
So okay, is San Diego State going to win too, or is there going to be San Diego State and someone else, like New Mexico?
Utah State gets one in the Aztecs.
Okay, Utah State's going to win one?
And New Mexico wins one, and then when UNLV wins the conference tournament, gets in, they're going to have an upset. So there's three wins.
Okay.
This would be the year. Is Mount West playing in the least pub has gone a while. This would be the year to,
Especially after last year.
This could also be the year where in the Mountain West, none of the teams win. Like the Mountain West breaks my brain, man. They play such good.
breaks my heart.
Yes, that too. Like they play such good basketball. I love New Mexico plays great basketball. I love watching them. Boise State too with Tyson Degenhart. Like they are good, man. But I don't know if I can trust them in March.
Real quick on New Mexico, they won at least a share of the Mountain West championship, which means the 6 power conferences, 2 of them were won by Patinos. So shout out to Richard and Rick for doing that such thing. Other ones quickly. Oklahoma got a massive win over Missouri, 96-84.
No, they didn't.
Massive.
Oklahoma needs to go away. No.
I'm kind of zagging now. Put them in. Why not?
No, do not
I'm
put
12 in
Oklahoma
the SEC.
in.
Put them
No,
in.
Nick.
Outwards. Put them in.
No, do not put them in.
UConn beat Marquette 72-66. Marquette
sucks.
we talked about them earlier.
Marquette sucks.
Michigan State beat Iowa last night 91-84. They won a 31-6 run at one point. Suck it, Robbie.
Real quick on Michigan State.
Yes. They're good.
Any team that allows Michigan State to score 61 points in a half, you need to be relegated to another conference. Iowa, you're done. You cannot be in the Big Ten anymore. You let Michigan State score 61 points on you. You let them score 40 points in the last 10 freaking minutes of that game. No. Get them out of here.
McCaffrey ball, baby. 61 points.
Dude.
Michigan State, Robbie. Watch out for him. And also to ASUN, Big
Go.
Horizon, Arch Madness, NEC, Patriot Summit, Sunbelt, WCC have all begun. So shout out to them as well.
Radford's up.
3-point game, 11 seconds left. Kobe Sturgis missed a shot. Defensive rebound, probably going to be over now.
So
who won?
Radford's going to the free throw line with 11 seconds left.
Didn't we both had this game, I think. Didn't both of us, someone picked Radford, I think.
Which, by the way, on that, the first championship Saturday night, so we'll start sending updates on those starting Sunday morning. I always wait for the first championship to get done.
I'll look at the list that Jake sent. I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Neither have I. Alrighty, that's our game recaps. We're kind of opening the floor here. Anything the boys want to hit on that we've not hit or anything? Anything at all?
Off the top of my head, man, we kind of hit everything.
I personally, I'm excited for Nashville. Pumped to get there. For those that don't know, this will be my 20th SEC tournament. I believe Nick's 15th or 16th.
Every year since 2009, except 2020, obviously.
So I'll mention we do have some coaching news across the board. So Mavericks assistant coach Alex Jensen is going to be the new head coach at Utah, which a bit of a surprise.
I think Kyle Young's a big part of that equation.
Yes, and then Jay Lucas is going to be the new head coach at Miami.
Yep.
Which, if you don't know the connection there, Jay Lucas played for Jim Larinaga at George Mason on that Final Four team. He was an associate head coach at Duke. Now he's going to take over for Larinaga at Miami. He's only 36 years old, so he's young. He's kind of Dusty and I's age. So, but he is he was a stalwart on that George Mason team and really good guy. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do for that Miami team. But we kind of talked about that coaching search on the last show. There's 2 quick zap-ups and also it looks like Florida State's probably going to have theirs zipped up quickly as well, because it looks like the Sacramento Kings assistant Luke Locks is going to be the head coach of Florida State now. So quickly, those positions are filling up fast, so it kind of makes you wonder what direction IU exactly. Yeah. What direction is IU going to go in? It makes you kind of wonder that a little bit.
And
real quick,
go ahead, Craig.
I do want to say. Yeah, I want to say real quick, just because I love the show so much. You guys know I listen to the Le Batard show all the time. Mike Ryan, who's used to be the EP of that show, called the Lucas thing 2 months ago and was given horrible backlash from Duke people. And he's a Miami donor. And And so good for him, and he's very good at his journalism and research. So, yeah, he said that 2 months ago, so that's cool that he got that. But, yeah, the IU thing's very interesting now as you're momentum. So, Nick, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I would say,
By the way, I want to mention that Jay Lucas is the different Jay Lucas that was on George Mason. I thought he was the same one. It's a different one.
I was not going to say anything.
Are you thinking?
Yes, former Florida Gator. So I confused the two. Different players.
Yeah,
so
well, isn't this the one that committed to Kentucky and then left when Patrick Patterson? And everyone keeps saying Jay. I believe it's Jai Lucas is how you pronounce it.
Maybe Jai. Is it Jai Lucas, Jake?
Yeah.
Jai. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And,
No, Robbie, you're not wrong, Robbie. I believe he does have a Larinaga connection, and that's how this whole thing got brought to fruition.
And he is Jerry Lucas' second son, I believe. He was a Cal Party assistant for a little bit, which not even to rag on him. Their track record's not been great, but shout out Bill Belichick. His isn't great either. Also, Villanova could be available too. That's another job that we always keep forgetting about.
No, Villanova's making the tournament.
You're right.
Neptune's staying.
That was stupid. That was a stupid comment.
How dare you?
Thank you, Robbie. I do have some quick hitters I prepared for us. I just have 4 questions just about college basketball. Yes, just quick. I didn't prepare you at all. Just what do you think? You guys ready? Blue Flag wrapped up the Player of the Year after Flag.
Yes.
Yeah, after Bruins last week.
He's going to win it. Yeah.
Will the 1 seeds be Auburn, Duke, Houston, Florida?
Like we said earlier, I think it depends on the SEC tournament. But
yes or no? This is not a prediction.
Yes.
No.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, wait. So who's going to be the other 1 seed then?
I'm Tennessee makes it around the SEC tournament.
No. Okay. All right. Fair enough. That's okay.
I'll go yes for that one. 2 more. Worst duo of teams we believed in. Okay, you guys ready?
Oh.
Yeah.
Robbie, K-State, and Baylor.
Oh, Lord.
Nick, Cincinnati, and Gonzaga. And then Dusty, Gonzaga as well, but Miami. I believe you had them preseason ranked in the...
Oh, that's... Dusty wins. Dusty wins. That's terrible. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I forgot. You preseason ranked Miami?
I was thinking about Jai Lucas next year.
I mean, at least one of my teams is going to make the tournament. Well, you guys had Gonzaga, and I got Baylor's going to make the tournament.
Well, also me and Dusty had Gonzaga, I think, winning the whole thing, which was a tough one.
Hey,
I have Gonzaga and Creighton in my Final Four, so.
Hey, shout
That could still happen. You never know.
I know.
That's funny.
And it's just...
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'll go make a smartest comment. You go ahead.
We love your smartest comments. Scariest projected 8 seed. I included 5 teams here because one of these teams is the last projected 7 seed. I have BYU, UConn, Mississippi State, Gonzaga, Kansas.
It's UConn until someone beats them. And especially because we've talked in the past how they've won half their championships being the frickin' 8 seed.
That's why it's yeah. I completely agree because it's going to be...
Someone needs to kill that beast.
Yes.
It's going to be UConn, but also... It's either UConn's going to win it all or UConn's going to lose the first game. Like that's what they do. But if I had to pick a second, it's going to be Mississippi State because they are so volatile. And if Josh Hubbard gets hot,
I was saying, yeah, and you have a Hubbard who can be a Carmelo or any of those.
Kimbo.
Speaking of UConn, thank you. Yeah, anyone that can just take off for 6 games in a tournament.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll buy low and say Bill Self in Kansas. Make a surprising run.
No.
Why not? Hunter Dickinson, take me to the promised land.
Get out of here. No.
Actually, I have a last bonus one before we get to games for preview. Did the Pacers beat the Rockets Tuesday night? Do you want to see?
I mean, I watched it, so yes, they did.
They did? Okay. Just want to confirm that.
Okay. Oh, you were confirming. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, as the good radio host that you need to be, that's good that you were able to confirm what happens.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you for that as a teacher. All right, I'm going to throw something out here at you, okay? So there's 16 teams that are kind of on either the last 4 in or the next 4 out line. I want to run them all through and you tell me if they're in or out, okay?
Like, will they be?
Will they be? Okay. Yes, Selection Sunday. Utah State.
Yes.
Okay. Georgia.
Yes.
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 Ohio State.
No.
Barely yes.
Okay. Arkansas.
No.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
I like this.
San Diego State.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
I say yes too.
You would.
IU.
Yes. And
No.
I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be part of the committee. Again, there's an emotional aspect to this at times that I don't think we ever think about. I think there's a let's put Woodson in his last season.
And I revert. Arkansas's going to get in. I changed that pick.
I remember this is a human committee that is trying to put together a reality TV show that is
Correct.
March Madness.
And viewership
Yes.
matters.
Correct.
Can I push back on people say all the time? Have we ever gotten like a proven is there one example everyone's like, wow, they got in because gotta have them in? Because I do agree, but I think it's so much of a talking point that we say it like it's fact, and I don't know that.
I mean,
I
don't think there's
IU was a
I don't think there's a ridiculous one that you can say.
No.
that's kind of the point I'm making. That's because it is. I do agree it's a human committee, but I do think like they're not going to egregiously put someone in that shouldn't be. It's just
I think this is the first time we've ever had. You've got IU, North Carolina, Texas. Like you've got some big schools that are in that last four in, first four out line that you're going to have to make some decisions for. So we're going to know for sure whether or not what the committee really wants to do here.
I think the committee does the human aspect more. It's not necessarily, in my opinion, who gets in. Is when for example, in 2014, they put Kentucky as the 8th seed with undefeated Wichita State. I think it's little stuff like that they 100% do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, or they'll stick Duke and Michigan State in the same 2-7 game. They do a lot of stuff like that for sure.
Which is so. By the way, back to that, Nick. That's so unfair to Wichita State.
BS, complete BS to them.
We have a team of like 6 pros playing a team that has like this amazing undefeated regular season.
That's still one of the best round of 32 games I've ever seen. Was that Wichita State Kentucky game? That was legitimately an awesome game. Okay, Boise State, in or out?
Out.
It's not to go another. Remember, bid sealers. Bid sealers are always a scary thing this time of year. I'll go out. I won't Boise State in though.
Xavier, hot.
Ooh, I would say it depends on the Big East tournament.
Okay.
If they get to the semifinals, I would say they have a chance.
Okay, Nick.
So right now out. But
yeah.
Okay, I think they're going to get in. I think they're going to find a way to get in because they're ending the season strong. But again, they're 1-10 against quad one games.
Ugh.
That's not good. Oklahoma, are they in or out?
I'm saying I'm sick of them. I'm saying out.
Out.
I'm just leaving it at that.
Good. Thank you. That's why I love you both. North Carolina, in or out?
They're gonna beat Duke Saturday. They're in.
Yeah, they're in a weak conference. They're gonna make a run the tournament. They get the semis of the ACC. They're in.
I think they're gonna. I hate it. They're gonna find a way to get in. I agree. Texas, in or out?
Big win. So they play Oklahoma tomorrow.
Yeah.
Remember, they had lost 6 of 7 before with that Kentucky win. So now you get a road win against a top 25 team. I know. I'm sorry, but I think
Texas is in. I think Texas is in.
Yeah.
I think okay. We talked about Ohio State earlier. I think that game from earlier in the season kind of has some weight on which one of those gets in.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because that was like opening night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it was the first game of the year for them. Yeah. Is Nebraska in or out? Losing at Ohio State, that obviously doesn't help.
Out.
They're reeling. I think that's an L4.
They gotta make a run in the tournament, the Big Ten tournament. I mean, but yes, I agree. And the last 4, I think these are probably self-explanatory, but it's Colorado State,
Out.
Cincinnati,
Out.
Out.
They've been dead for a month. How are they still in this?
I don't know because SMU, Wake Forest,
Out.
Wake
Villanova?
Forest is so sad.
Huh?
Gosh.
Villanova.
Put them with Georgetown. Go play in the
Nova out. Cal Neptune in for next year. We'll see.
Yeah, I like it.
I think we're a month out from me ranking Georgetown. So.
There we go. Okay. I was curious what you all thought, so there you go. There's your last teams in, first teams out, that whole line, so there you go.
I think that's it. Robbie, I gave you a list of games to preview because I listed the games we recapped earlier. Do you want to hit the game?
Yeah, let me run through. Yeah, let me run through games just to keep an eye on. St. John's at Marquette, Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi State, Arkansas. Those are all noon games coming up Saturday, so those are good ones right there. You obviously got Alabama, Auburn at 2:30 on ESPN on Saturday. A&M goes to LSU. That's a sneaky game. A&M can't really afford to lose that in terms of seeding purposes. Duke at North Carolina, 6:30 p.m. ESPN. Typical ESPN, they're going to go do College Game Day in Chapel Hill because they're trying to prop up that rivalry. It sucks. I don't care. Houston's at Baylor. I don't know if you guys realize this. Baylor is 18-12 this year.
Sheesh.
And they're comfortably in the tournament.
18-12.
It doesn't make any sense.
I thought Jimmy Roach was so much better.
Utah is at BYU. Little rivalry there on Saturday night. Sunday is Michigan State, which Michigan State has already wrapped up a share of the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, they have.
And shut your face. Which means they've kind of just wrapped up everything there. On top of that,
wrap it up, kids.
Anything else I'm missing in terms of games to watch out for?
Yeah, I just want to remind you guys that tomorrow Canisius plays at St. Mary's. I just want to remind us as fans of Purdue and Kentucky that we both lost to St. Peter's, who went 6-13 in the MAC this year.
They did. Purdue does play at Illinois tonight. That's Friday night. I think Illinois is probably going to get that one because I think Illinois is starting to get healthy. I would imagine if you're the betting type, bet Illinois minus 9.5 or however much you can tease it to. I think they're going to win it by. I think they're going to win it by double digits, and that's okay. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other big games I'm missing.
No, I would say Robbie, a lot of it is just, again, for our fascination for the college basketball tournaments, just follow the conference tournaments and just see what, I mean, because there's so many games I'm looking at right now that are just TBT. I mean, there's literally, in Arch Madness, I have 6 o'clock CBS Sports Network on Saturday, TBD versus TBD. So,
Atlantic Sun Championship. Atlantic Sun Championship is
Saturday,
North
correct?
Alabama Lipscomb coming up on Sunday.
Sunday at 1. It usually is
Sunday
on ESPN,
at 1.
right?
Sunday at 2. Sunday at 2
okay.
is North Alabama Lipscomb. That's going to be a really good game. Those are two really good teams.
The two I would just point out are the two massive bubble games: Ohio State at IU on Saturday and Oklahoma at Texas Saturday night. So those are just two massive bubble games.
Those, and then since we were talking about one seeds, I know you mentioned it, Robbie, but again, Alabama Auburn playing again this weekend.
Does that decide a 1 seed?
I think Auburn's a lock unless they lose this and first game of the SEC tournament.
So if Alabama wins at Auburn, do you think that they can get a 1 seed then?
They've lost to Florida and Tennessee in the last couple weeks, and they would be 1-1 versus Auburn. I
think Alabama.
They have a win over Houston, I think, too, which is really nice. But
I think Alabama's locked in as 2. I think Alabama is 100% a 2 seed.
But again, you say that, but I mean they go to Nashville and win the damn thing. I mean that'd be hard to keep them out.
How about this? Has Houston locked in a 1 seed, or can they fall off the 1 line?
I mean, if they lose
I think they're locked in. I know what you're about to say,
they are
Robbie.
too.
Yeah, if they lose the first game, maybe, but I think they're in.
I think they are too. I think if they lose their first game of the Big 12 tournament, then maybe you start thinking about it a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think Houston's a 1 seed. I think their profile locks in as a 1 seed. Yes, I think Alabama is a 2 seed. I don't think they're a 1 seed. I think your 1 seeds you can pretty much safely say right now it's
Auburn, Duke, and
Houston.
Auburn, Duke, Florida, Houston. I think those are going to be your 4 1 seeds. Yep.
I think it's Auburn, Duke, Houston for sure, and then what the hell happens in Nashville? We'll see who hangs on to that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think Michigan State can get 1 seed at this point. Like even they,
I don't either.
No, they didn't play anyone in the non-conference, so they can't rise up to a 1, even if they win. And I think historically and notoriously, the selection committee has not valued the conference tournament championship as much as they should for seeding purposes.
Well, especially the ones that are on Sunday.
Yes,
where they're rushing to get something figured out right last minute. So
yeah, and that's not us even saying that. I think that's been like self-admitted too. Like they pretty much have the bracket locked in on Sunday that they can't.
Unless it's a team that's on the bubble that somehow is in the championship game, they made it pretty clear that hey, here's what we're doing. Who cares who wins by 4 or 5 points? We're moving on.
Right.
So, all right, boys, this has been awesome.
Great pod, boys. Happy Friday, everyone. It was great to be.
Hey!
Check!
Give me the check!
Give me the check, please!
Everyone, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the last regular season of college basketball. Thanks, boys, for having us on. And We'll probably pod one more time before Nashville, but we're here, boys.
One time for Nashville, and then if we can set up, we still have the ladies of the pod making their picks.
Oh, don't worry. We will make sure we do that. That's one of our most listened to pods.
Yes, it is.
And
well,
real
quick,
quick,
I have to say this real quick. I told Haley about that, and she was like, "Why would we do the same show again?" I was like, "No, you don't understand. Like, it's a different tournament. It's different teams. Like,
it's what the people want."
Yes. And hello, Disney.
That's why Haley's so perfect for the show. That comment right there is what makes it perfect.
Why would we pick the same tournament? Because it's not the same tournament. It's just God bless her.
Shall you all have a great weekend. Cast bullet, Daddy. See you then.
March, baby, March!